Forget the Shinkansen and the TGV. The next frontier of high-speed travel isn't in Asia or Western Europe. It's taking shape in Poland. A new infrastructure titan is rising, designed to connect major hubs in under 2 hours and rewrite the rules of European transit. Poland is undertaking the largest infrastructure project in its history, aiming to transform itself into the ultimate transportation hub of Central and Eastern Europe. In this video, we are going into the Polish high-speed rail revolution. We will explore the massive Y-shaped routes connecting the country, the complex way billions of euros are being financed, and exactly where these state-of-the-art trains are coming from. The project sits under a massive program known as Port Polska, previously known as CPK. The core mission of this ambitious plan is summarized in a single phrase: Poland in 100 minutes. The government wants to make it possible to travel from Warsaw to most of the country's main cities in under 2 hours. This isn't just about upgrading old tracks. Poland is building a digitally native, fully interoperable high-speed system from scratch to meet the highest European standards. This network is part of the Trans-European Transport Network, which means it is designed to link the Baltic region directly with Western Europe. The backbone of this entire system is the Y line. If you look at a map of the project, it forms a literal letter Y starting in Warsaw. The line starts at a massive new multimodal hub, a new airport being built from scratch about 40 kilometers from Warsaw. From the airport, the line goes to the city of Łódź. From there, the tracks branch off toward 2 other major cities, Poznań and Wrocław. In total, this Y line will cover about 480 kilometers, but it doesn't stop at the Polish border. This network is intended to connect Warsaw with Prague, Berlin, Budapest, Vienna, Riga, and Vilnius. For example, a high-speed connection to the German border is planned to reduce the travel time from Berlin to the new Port Polska airport to less than 3.5 hours. A major piece of this puzzle is Rail Baltica, a standard-gauge rail link that will integrate the Baltic states Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia with the rest of Europe. Poland is the essential transition hub for this corridor, ensuring that trains can flow seamlessly from the north down to the Adriatic. But the Y line is only part of a larger strategy that started a couple of years ago, which involves constructing new tracks and modernizing existing ones, totaling more than 9,000 kilometers by 2035. Building these routes isn't easy. Under the city of Łódź, engineers are boring a 4.6-kilometer high-speed tunnel that is 14 meters in diameter. It will be one of the most complex rail engineering projects in Central Europe, and the speeds are impressive. While the slowest sections will still run at 200 kilometers per hour, the Y line is designed for trains to reach 350 kilometers per hour, with regular operations running at 320 kilometers per hour. The famous Chinese high-speed railway is operating at similar speeds. You can find out more about it in another of our videos. To handle this kind of power, Poland is introducing a new electrification standard for the country, 25 kilovolt alternating current. This system is much more energy efficient for high-speed travel compared to the older 3 kilovolt direct current systems used on legacy lines. You might be wondering how much this costs. The numbers are staggering. The entire Port Polska project, including the Foster and Partners designed airport and the rail lines, is estimated to cost around 131 billion Polish zloty, roughly 30.8 billion euros. The rail component alone accounts for more than 76 billion zloty, about 2/3 of the entire investment. Poland is using a multi-source approach to pay for this. As a key part of the TEN-T network, Poland is a massive beneficiary of the Connecting Europe facility. Brussels has already provided hundreds of millions of euros for design and feasibility studies, and Poland is applying for billions more to cover actual construction. The Polish state is providing a legislative guarantee of financing through its multi-annual program, which includes the issuance of corporate bonds and the use of the state treasury. In a modern twist, some of the funding is coming from defense-related initiatives. The Security Action for Europe instrument provides billions for dual-use infrastructure. Because these rail lines are built to handle heavy military equipment and rapid troop movements across NATO's eastern flank, they qualify for these security funds. The project also aims to attract commercial capital. A state-owned rolling stock pool is being developed to lease trains to operators, which reduces the financial risk for companies wanting to run services on the new lines. Building tracks is one thing, but you need world-class trains to run on them. Poland is tackling this through 2 main channels. First, the PKP Intercity tender. The state operator, PKP Intercity, launched a landmark tender for 20 high-speed electric multiple units, EMUs, capable of 320 kilometers per hour. There is also an option to buy another 35 trains later. These trains must be able to operate not just in Poland, but also in Germany, the Czech Republic, and Austria. Because the requirements are so strict, manufacturers must have experience building trains that go at least 250 kilometers per hour. This has led to some massive international partnerships. Second, industrial alliances. The biggest partnership to watch is between Siemens Mobility and Newag. Siemens brings the global high-speed expertise, like their Velaro platform, while Newag is a major Polish manufacturer. By working together, they aim to maximize local value, meaning more parts of these high-tech trains will be built right in Poland. Another player is Alstom. Poland already has a history with Alstom through the Pendolino trains, which have been running in the country since 2014. Alstom recently signed a massive 1.6 billion euro contract for other regional trains in Poland, so they remain a very strong contender for the high-speed fleet as well. There was even an attempt by the Polish Development Fund to acquire the Spanish train maker Talgo to secure their unique high-speed technology. While the Spanish government ultimately blocked the takeover for strategic reasons, Polish companies like PESA continue to collaborate with Talgo on future projects. Although there's no official decisions to use Chinese companies or Chinese high-speed rail systems in Poland, in July 2025, Dr. Alan Barode, president of PKP SA and chair of the International Union of Railways, officially opened the 12th World Congress on High-Speed Rail in Beijing, highlighting the role of high-speed rail in sustainable mobility and climate action. He praised China's leadership in building the world's largest high-speed network and emphasized global cooperation to advance rail innovation.
If we look at China, for example, China has built 45,000 kilometers of high speed since 2007. Let me remind you that the total amount of railway infrastructure in Poland is 19,000 kilometers. So we realize at what pace we should make these investments as Europe so that we can catch up with China.
This project isn't just about getting from A to B faster. It is projected to be an economic catalyst, creating over 150,000 jobs in Poland. It includes an airport city near the new hub with trade fairs, research centers, and offices. Furthermore, the geopolitical situation in Europe has changed the project's meaning. High-speed rail is now seen as a critical enabler for the defense of NATO's eastern flank. The lines are designed with specific axle loads and loading gauges that allow for the rapid transport of heavy military armor across the continent if needed. The timeline is ambitious but clear. The design for the main Warsaw-Lodz section is nearly 100% complete. Construction on the airport foundations is scheduled for 2026, and the first phase of the Y line is expected to be operational by 2032, coinciding with the opening of the new airport. By 2035, the full 480-kilometer network should be finished, and already by 2027, trains running on a so-called CMK line should be operating at 250 kilometers an hour. This line, running from Warsaw to Katowice, is currently being modernized. Poland is essentially building a military Schengen and a civilian transport paradise at the same time. By the time this network is fully operational, Poland will have one of the most advanced and fastest rail systems in Europe, anchoring itself as the logistics heart of the continent. Do you think Poland's rail project will set the new standard for Europe? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. This project represents a massive leap into modernity, blending engineering, finance, and international cooperation to reshape how people and goods move across Europe.